Hey everybody, thank you so much for having me at ETH Denver. It's going to be an incredible week. Just to start off, it's amazing having so many like-minded individuals in one spot so we can all learn from each other and build off each other. I know for a fact that the bedrock of our business is building a strong community. So to give you guys a little bit of a background on myself, my name is Theodore Essery. I'm head of globalization at the Doric Network. I have an extensive background in crypto by working on a number of different projects on the marketing side, as well as help raising money for a number of crypto funds. Prior to this, I worked in the financial space, more on the institutional wealth side, where I worked with a lot of different family offices and foundations, helping them raise money and deploy capital into a number of different funds as well as individual projects. And we did a lot of great business deploying millions of dollars. And that's sort of what brings me to what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is how do you actually bridge those two worlds? The traditional crypto world of building a strong foundation and Telegram channels and all of the basics, as well as how do you bring those sort of projects to a more institutional investor? Okay, because right now we're getting to a point with everything that's getting released with BlackRock and whatnot that real institutional wealth is looking at our industry in a much more serious manner. And that's essentially why I've kind of bridged my world between traditional finance and crypto. So to kind of give you a little bit of a background on the Doric Network, we are our own blockchain. It's our goal to democratize blockchain for all users. We want to have a scalable, secure, and flexible blockchain, and our main focus is engaging with developers and investors as well as users. To give you guys just a couple of points from our blockchain, we want to tokenize assets safely and seamlessly. We want to have efficiency and security with our proof of authority consensus. We want transparency at its core. We are also EVM compatible, and we have a proof of stake mechanism, and we want to have a tamper-proof online registry. But the main point of today's conversation is I want to kind of get into the educational aspect of what we work on. All right, so I want to start talking about building a strong foundation. All right, obviously the main thing you want to focus on is getting diverse channels up and running. This is everything from Discord to Twitter to Telegram and to Instagram, all right? This is what allows you to essentially build funnels of an audience member into your project, all right? This is how they find your project, and this is how you be diverse in that sense. This ensures consistent branding and messaging and allows you to reach many different audiences. The next thing you got to do is you have to implement bots across all these different channels. Utilizing bots is possibly the smartest thing you could do, all right? Telegram has tons of these bots as well as Discord. If people are constantly looking for your chart or want to get updates about coin market cap or proper links, these are the sort of bots that'll allow you to be different, all right? This will enhance user experience as well as response time. The next thing is content is king. Even for example, right now, we're recording all of this. All right, this is something that we're going to be pushing to our user base and our followers and investors for the next couple months. You constantly want to be out there generating content, okay? This isn't just necessarily have to be about your own project. This can be general news, okay? You can talk about the price of Bitcoin, where Ethereum is going, but content is king in our industry, and you guys have to remember that. It allows you to showcase project progression and your community achievements. Next thing you have to do is demonstrate commitment. If you're going to have these channels, you have to be on top of them. You have to be posting every single day. You have to be constantly giving updates. You need to show that credibility through this demonstration of constantly putting good information in front of your followers, in front of your users and investors. The next thing is tools for success. All right, I can give you guys a list of these tools afterwards, but right now, you can use so many AI tools for analytics, consolidating your social platforms. The one thing that a lot of projects don't have is human capital. So if you can figure out a way to use online tools to make your life simpler and make your life more efficient, then that's what you have to do. And you can find a lot of these online, and I'm more than happy to share with you what we have. All right, and this will allow you to adapt different strategies based on data insights and as well get community feedback. One of the other things that I always like to talk about as well is reputable sources and getting good publications done. And this sort of ties into building a strong foundation and having these communities. For example, if you're going to buy an article on Forbes, for example, okay, you want to be able to have the people on Forbes who are seeing this go to an active Telegram, go to an active Instagram and actually see that things are going on within your community. And more importantly, that you can use this the reverse way. If you have an active community and you say to them, hey, we just got an article written about us on Forbes, then they can use this as a leverage point to generate more interest in your project. So it doesn't just go one way or another, and that's why you need both sides of this coin, all right? As far as activating communities, I want to just go over a couple things that I've used in the past for projects. Twitter raids are probably one of the most important things you can use. This is a bot that you can implement on your Discord and on your Telegram, which will allow you to track people and the way they interact on your Twitter. It will match and record bookmarks, retweets, and create more of a competition within it. The next is buying competitions. This will in fact increase wallet holders as well as your ability to create a more of a competitive nature within your communities. Obviously, buying competitions create drives in the chart, and this will also allow you to give back to your community with prizes. Hashtag campaigns, couldn't stress how more important this is. Every single project out there must have a hashtag. Once you have a hashtag, this is how you become trending online through all of these different resources we just spoke about. And this will in turn incentivize user engagement. You can reward your users for sharing project information, offering tokens, so on and so forth. And the best part about this is that it actually will foster a sense of ownership and community involvement, which is extremely important for what we do. So I want to go over a little bit about strategic influence or access. KOLs are super important, partnering with different YouTubers and Twitter accounts, all right? These guys, they have their own credibility. They have their own followers, all right? So it's your job to tap into their guys so that they can essentially say to their community, hey, if this guy believes in what I'm doing, then they're gonna believe in what I'm doing as well. All right, so this is great to tap into. You can do this with YouTubers. You can do this with different Twitter accounts. And that sort of brings us to the next point, which is hosting AMAs, okay? And this is probably one of the most important things I've ever utilized in any of my projects. I like to make a reference point for, let's just say you're selling any sort of product, okay? I'm looking at a seller or a buyer and I'm engaging with them. They're not gonna give me their money unless they see my face and hear my voice, all right? Our version of that sales pitch is the AMA. You got to get your voice out there, you got to get your name out there, and that's the way to create credibility. All right, to go over the benefits, all right, so we're looking at an expanded reach to audience, increased engagement and interaction, and most importantly, creating trust and credibility within the community. So if we're going to talk about incentives for developers and build-a-thons, well, we're obviously at a build-a-thon right now. It clearly works, all right? We're actually gonna be doing something very similar this week. We are generating and giving out developer grants all week to projects that we find promising. So this will mean that we're going to be handing out financial support to a lot of different projects. So if you guys are developers and want to chat with us about developing on our blockchain, please come and ask some questions. But not only are we going to help you financially, but we're also going to give you corporate assistance, which I think is huge. All right, we're not just going to say, hey, here's the money, take it, go. No, we have a back end of amazing developers that will help you build out your project. And we want to look at this as a group effort and a team effort. All right, the next thing we want to talk about is the benefits that all this stuff is going for us. All right, this will foster innovation so we can have new novel solutions and projects. We're looking at community growth, bringing in new developers who are able to work with us. And more importantly, for our blockchain, we're going to have a diverse group of many projects. So as we go forward, one thing that I've always utilized in the past is partnerships with central exchanges. Okay, this is very important. This gives you global exposure. It gives you access to a wide range of new investors. This gives you increased visibility within the crypto community. Not only that, this will give you an incredible boost of credibility. All right, what I mean by that is that a lot of these exchanges require KYC. Okay, which means that you're going to be putting your name out there and they're going to be looking at it in that sort of fashion. So once you get on these exchanges, you're essentially telling your community that, hey, you know, I'm willing to be in front of the fire. The next thing this gives you access to is liquidity, all right? There's a lot of global money out there. A lot of exchanges have a lot of liquidity, more investors, more opportunity. Market access, geographically, a lot of these exchanges can only operate in certain regions. This is super important to understand because you need to be accessible worldwide to a lot of different investors that may not be trading on, you know, the Pancake Swap or Uniswap, but may only be trading on KuCoin and Coinbase. All right, and this again will create marketing opportunities. If you can go to your group or even go to publications and say, hey, my XYZ project just was launched on KuCoin, this is something that you can take back to your community and utilize very, very well. So again, all this stuff is great, but you also have to remember that you need measurable goals. All right, every single month you got to figure out, what do you want to do? How do you want to get there? For example, developer engagement up. We want it up 30%. We want monthly user growth, 20%, increase in price and holders. How many projects are we launching? If you're building a project and you have a team, it's your job to hold them accountable, all right? Without you, everything else will fall apart. And if you aren't meeting KPIs on a monthly basis, then you are not operating a good project. And that goes to budget allocation as well. This is even more important, all right? For example, we're looking at deploying capital for developer grants, social media marketing, partnerships, educational content, events, so on and so forth. This is incredibly important to understand because, yes, sure, there is some sort of, brickwork to marketing a project, but not everything works for every single project. So it's your job to test this out and then figure out what works for you and focus on that completely. Because I can tell you this, sometimes stuff works for projects and sometimes it doesn't. So I just want to say a couple things. Utilizing airdrops and giveaways is also very important too. We're going to be giving away free Dorics all week. All right, so if you guys want to come by and hang out with us, we're more than welcome, okay? And this is something that you guys should implement into your systems as well. So just to kind of go over everything I just chatted about, benefits of community engagement, we're looking at community growth, token distribution, incentivized engagement, project visibility, and brand advocacy. So I now have spent a little bit of time talking about the crypto side of things and building the community. Now I kind of want to talk about, how do you access the institutional wealth component? All right, I can tell you this, I've been in the institutional wealth space for a very long time. I've helped deploy over $25 million into a number of different projects over the last couple years. I can tell you this right now, it's a very small knit community and you need to be active in it and you need to be around these people on a constant basis, all right? Think of it as a small friend group, probably similar to what the crypto space is like. And the way to get in front of these people, I'm gonna go over them right now. So family office conferences, in my opinion, has been one of the most beneficial things I've ever done. I go to about 10 of them, 20 of them every single year. I get invited to them, I've spoken at them before. And this is an incredibly important aspect because this is how you get in front of the wealthiest people in the world. And now that crypto has sort of come out of the shadows, people are now looking at crypto, not just as a crypto investment, but more as a global alternative investment. And now with everything expanding and markets in shambles, people are looking for different long-term investments, and crypto is going to be the new one. All right, so now, more importantly, is your time to build these relationships because people are going to start venturing off from Bitcoin ETFs and they're going to want to start to get into true utility projects. And now we talk about global events and exhibitions. The best example I have for this is Art Basel. Okay, Art Basel is an incredibly fun event in Miami, but I can tell you this, it's not really about art. Art is the disguise of the event. It is a crypto and it is a finance event. The amount of family office events I go to during that week in crypto events are huge. It's your job to be around during these weeks. Get down to Miami, go meet some people, get out there. You need to start building relationships. The whole art of fundraising is getting in front of people and building a strong rapport. The next thing is targeted groups and associations. There are databases online that have every single RIA out there. It's your job to tap into these. These are funds, crypto funds. These are global investment funds that you can actually tap into and put them on your mailing list. That's what I do. I have hundreds and hundreds of these offices on my mailing list. I get in front of them. In fact, sometimes I give them a cold call. You have to do everything in your power to build these relationships so that you can actually get invited to these events. So that's an incredibly important thing you can do too. My favorite thing, and this is something that I've been extremely successful in, is targeting foundations and endowments. And this is for any developer out there that actually has, let's just say, a socially friendly project, all right? A lot of foundations in there, they have a mandate for what they have to invest in. All right, this can be something that benefits the environment, charities, all right? We're talking about orphanages, all right? If you can find yourself in a position to build a project that has one of these social responsibilities involved in it, you can target foundations and endowments worldwide. And they're right now, more particularly, are looking to be deploying their money in more diverse spaces. So if you can hit the prong of being in a diverse space as well as something that they're actually invested in as well, like an orphanage, for example, or a charity, this can be a massive play for you guys. So it's just something to keep in mind that maybe you could utilize in the future. So I kind of just want to go over, I think today is going to be a great day. I think the week is going to be great. Everything that I just spoke about as far as bridging these two worlds, I think is very important because I come from an institutional background where not a lot of people understand to build a crypto project, but they want to get into the space, but they don't understand how to build the proper channels. They don't understand how to build bots. They don't know what KOLs are. And then I work with people in crypto who are like, Theo, how do I get in front of an institution? How do I get in front of a hedge fund? How do I get in front of a family office? And that's why I've been working so closely with Doric, because I've helped bridge those two worlds for our company. So again, thank you so much for having me and allowing me to speak today. I hope it's been informative for the people who are listening. And if you guys have any questions, honestly, I'm a very welcoming guy. Please come up to me, just ask me. Just if you see me walking around, like I'm just another guy in the space. So don't be afraid to talk to me. I got a lot of team members here all week. So please, come ask me some questions. I'm happy to chat. My email is right there as well. So if you want to shoot me an email, please. I'm looking forward to innovating, collaborating. All right, let's build. It's going to be a fun week. First time in Denver, by the way. I like it, actually. It's an interesting spot. Hopefully I'll have enough time to get out to Aspen, but we'll see if time permits. But again, thank you so much. We got a bunch of social medias up there you can check out. More importantly, if you want to scan that QR code, it will take you to our link tree. You can see what we got going on. And I hope everybody has an incredibly good Friday. Let's go ETH Denver. Thank you.